ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवगौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। ॐ नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्तकांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंकुं लंकयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। हरे कृष्णा. So we have discussed up to verse number 19 of the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Today we will try to complete the entire seventh chapter. There are 11 more shlokas left. So from 20 onwards we will continue. So since we had skipped a session on Sunday, last Sunday, so we'll just quickly recap what all we have heard so far in the seventh chapter. So Krishna is elaborately now describing his heart. What is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? You can find in 7, 8, and ninth chapter. So here Krishna refers to different types of devotees, different types of people who are engaged in devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So he says that there are four kind of men who come for, who are sakama, who have some desires, and to fulfill those desires they come to, they approach the Supreme Lord. And he also speaks about kevala bhakta, those people who are just unalloyed devotees. In the 19th verse we saw that the last verse that Krishna that we discussed, that Krishna spoke, the 19th verse, Krishna says that, bahunam janmanam ante, after many lifetimes, millions and billions of lifetimes, there is someone who actually turns to me, in pure devotion, who perfects his life. So such a devotee is very rare, like that Krishna speaks, and he is very dear to me, like that Krishna says. So we saw that there are four kinds of men who turn towards Krishna: one who is distressed, one who wants wealth, one who is inquisitive, and one who wants knowledge. One who wants to know Krishna. Such people, those are four people who turn towards Krishna. Then Krishna speaks about those people who don't turn towards him. He says that they are miscreants and they are asuras who don't turn towards me. They want to, lord it over the material nature. We saw that. Then Krishna spoke about, the Kevala Bhaktas. Now, naturally, somebody might have, doubt that Krishna is saying that the ultimate object of life is to surrender unto him. So, is there any other personalities to whom people surrender? Is it only Krishna, or there is somebody else also to whom people surrender? This doubt is there within everyone, and everyone has preconceived notions on these things according to the circumstances and situations in which they are in their life, how they are surrounded, and how from what kind of a religious background they come. So people have different notions about these things. Many people think that Sanatana Dharma, or Hinduism for that matter, is actually, what do you say, it is not a monotheistic religion. People think that way. They think that it is polytheistic. There are many, there are many gods. Crores and crores of gods are there in Hinduism, like that people think. But the scriptures unanimously confirm to this fact. Even Bhagavad Gita confirms this fact, that there is only one supreme Lord, that is Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that Ekala Ishvara Krishna Rasabhavritya. There is only one supreme personality of Godhead, that is Krishna, and everybody else is a Bhritya. Everybody else is a Dasa to him. Everybody else surrenders to him and renders service to him. Like in the Brahma Samhita, we see that how Brahmaji prays to Krishna that, Ishwarah Paramah Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karana. Like that, Brahmaji says that you are the Supreme Lord. You are the only personality of Godhead. Ishwarah Paramah Krishna. Among the controllers, Ishwara, you are Parameshwara. The controller of the controllers you are. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha. And what kind of a body you have? Satchitananda. Which is Sat, which is eternal, which is full of knowledge, and which is full of bliss. You have a body like that, you have a form like that. So it also contradicts to some belief that people have, that the Supreme Lord is formless. There is no form to the Supreme Lord. That is also not sanctioned by the Vedic literatures. They say that Krishna has a form. It is a very beautiful form. Venum kvanantamaravinda dalayataksham barhavatam samasitam buddha sundarangam kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Venum kvanantam aravinda dalayataksham. He is having a flute in his hand, Venu, and he is actually giving entertainment to all the Brajavasis by playing his flute. Venum kvanantam aravinda dalayataksham. He has an eye. His eyes are like what? It's like petals of lotus. Aravinda dalayataksham. Barhavatamsam. He wears a lotus, feather of a feather of a peacock, on his head. Barhavatamsam asita ambuda sundarangam. And what kind of a complexion he has? Asita ambuda means, rain filled cloud, like a water filled cloud. That is the complexion of Krishna. Asita ambuda sundara angam. He is sundar. He is very, what do you say, he is very handsome. He looks very beautiful. Asita ambuda sundara angam. And kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham. He has a kandarpa koti. Kandarpa means Cupid. And koti means crores and crores, millions and billions of cupids coming together. How beautiful and attractive they might be. But no, they are nowhere near Krishna's form. Kandarpa koti kamaniya vishesha shobham. Govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. You are the primeval Lord. You are the first personality. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Again, Brahmaji speaking. You know, so Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the reason why Prabhupada, apart from a loose translation, like in English, when you say Bhagavan, you say God, right? But Prabhupada said what? Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why? Because Godhead means different people have different notions about Godhead. Somebody might be thinking that God is formless, is like a light, he's like Brahma Jyoti, like that, which is also not wrong, but it is a partial realization as per Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a partial realization, it's a primeval realization. It is the outer covering. Like Krishna is always covered by Yogamaya potency, and after Yogamaya, there comes Brahma Jyoti, effulgence from his body. So when you say that Brahma Jyoti is the supreme or Brahma Jyoti is Godhead, it is not wrong, but it is partial understanding of the Supreme Lord. So Godhead means it can be Brahma Jyoti, it can be Paramatma. When it comes to the, like we had discussed in some previous sessions, that there are three forms of Paramatma actually. When the Supreme Lord deals with this material universe, he is called Paramatma. Like the Paramatma to all the universes is Karanodakshai Vishnu, who is lying in the causal waters, the ocean. Karanodakshai Vishnu or Mahavishnu, we call him, Bhauma Purusha. Then, when we speak about the Paramatma of this universe, it is Garbhodakshai Vishnu, right? And the Paramatma residing within every atom, within every, heart of every living being, along with the soul, all the time, with the Jivas, is Kshirodakshai Vishnu, right? He is the Paramatma of everyone. So this Paramatma feature, the Vishnus are not different. It is not that the different Vishnus are different. But the idea is that Paramatma feature of the Lord is actually that Lord who is dealing with this material universe. So somebody might have this conception that the Supreme Lord is Paramatma, who is residing within the heart, and the yogis try to see him. यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्र मरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैर् वेदै सङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदिर्गायन्ति यं सामग ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसात् पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणदेवाय तस्मै नमः. यं ब्रह्मा वरुण इंद्र रुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैर् वेदै सङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदिर्गायन्ति यं सामग ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो. So the yogis, they turn towards Paramatma and take his darshan and surrender unto him. So Paramatma feature of the Lord, he is Lord himself, no doubt. But that is also not the complete understanding of the Supreme Lord. So it might be above Brahmajyoti realization, because it comes to a stage where Krishna has a Sachidananda Vigraha. But again, it is a Paramatma feature of the Lord. It is not complete manifestation of the Supreme Lord. So if you say that Brahmajyoti is supreme, yeah, it is true, but it is partially true. There is something which is more than that. This is the beauty of Sanskrit language. In Sanskrit, even perfection, even among perfection, there can be more perfection or more better, more like better or best. You can say like that. So there is probably there is no other language in this world which has such a feature, because these high form of subtle realizations and understanding about the supreme truth is only found here, right? Somebody can rarely achieve perfection, you know uh, by just their mental concoction. In fact, they cannot. So Paramatma feature of the Lord is also what? It is also supreme, but is it complete? No. What is the complete perfection of understanding the Supreme Lord? It is Bhagavan feature of the Lord. Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan, in Vaikuntha. That is the complete understanding of the absolute truth. That is the reason why Prabhupada says Supreme Personality of Godhead. He doesn't simply say God. Because when you say God, from the perspective of Advaita personality, he would say that, yeah, God is Brahmajyoti. But is that complete understanding? No. When it comes to uh, a person who is a yogi, he might think that he is Paramatma. like generator, operator, and destroyer. God, God, like that. So you might think like that, but is that complete? No. What is the complete feature? He is supreme. First of all, he is the supreme amongst everyone in this world, that world, everywhere. He is the supreme. Second thing, he has a personality of Godhead. That is the supreme, right? So some people who might think that there are various gods. Now Krishna is going to speak in this section from verse number 20 onwards, that how he is different from the devatas, and how people worship different devatas, and all those things. Some people think that it is a very concocted idea, or it is just, some mental speculation. Somebody is saying that no, Krishna is a supreme lord and everyone else is a britya, and all those things. Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita this thing, that how, what is devata worship, who are devatas, and why do people worship devatas, etc. So we will see that. We will see from 20th verse onwards. Yeah. कामैस्तैस्तैर्हृतज्ञानाः प्रपद्यन्ते अन्यदेवताः तं तं नियममास्थाय प्रकृत्या नियताः स्वया. So Krishna is now saying that there are some people who surrender unto different personalities also, right? Who are those people and why do they do that? So till the last, verse, we might have this, like, it is very natural to come across this doubt, if you are inquisitive enough, that okay, Krishna is saying that surrendering unto him is the supreme perfection of life, then why do people don't surrender unto him? So he has told that there are four kind of people who are naradamas and all those things. But okay, but if you want perfection in life, you will surrender unto him. So is there any personality? Are there some people who don't surrender unto you, but they surrender unto somebody else? Is there anyone else who is worth surrendering? So now Krishna is speaking about those people. So Krishna says that prapadyante anya devatah. In the second line you can see. So prapadyante means to surrender. Right. So prapadyante anya devataha. You can see devataha word is used. Anya Bhagavan word is not used. Anya devata word is used. Right. Even if you take Bhagavan, the it's three syllabled only. Bhagavan. And here it is, you see devataha, devata. It is three syllables only. Then why is the word devata used and not Bhagavan used? So that difference, that is the difference that Prabhupada is, noting here by translating devata into demigods. You see why? Because they have godly features. They are not the supreme lord. They are anya devataha. So prapadyante anya devata. So there are class of men who surrender unto whom? Anya devataha, unto different demigods. Why do they do that? Kamai tai tai hrita jnanaha. Because of kama, because of lust, because of desire. They want to achieve something in this world. They have desire to achieve something in this world. They have desire to get something. They have desire to enjoy their senses. And for that, tai tai, there are various kama is tai. There are various varieties of kama, of desires that they have, which have stolen their jnana, which have stolen their intellect, which have stolen their knowledge. You see, hrita jnana, hrita means deprived of. Hrita means it's a negation. Hrita jnana means somebody who is deprived of jnana, whose jnana, or whose knowledge, whose intellect is being stolen away. Stolen away because of what? Stolen away because of whom? Kama is there. Because of various different kinds of kama. So a person who has different desires to enjoy in this world, who has different desire to go to the upper planetary system and enjoy there, who has various desire to lord it over the material nature, they take help from whom? They take help from the devatas. They surrender unto devatas. We can cite example from Shastras also. If at all we don't want to get into, people and think about them, you can quote from Shastras. Whom did Hiranyakashipu worship? Brahmaji. Hiranyakashipu did severe penance for Brahmaji. Thousands and thousands of years standing on, one leg, that too on one finger. He did tapasya. When Brahmaji came down to give him, Srimad Bhagavatam has this description that he was already eaten up by insects from inside. Such dedication and determination he was, standing and doing. He was worshipping the Brahmaji. You know, you take Ramayana. Whom did Ravana worship? Shivji. You see. So, see, we should understand this fact. We must not actually, you know, belittle devatas. We should not do that. They are people who help us. Because of them, we are also taking their service to sustain. Because they are serving the Supreme Lord. They are Vaishnavas. We should not do Vaishnava aparat. So we must not say that we should not see that devatas are inferior. They are very superior to us and very qualified to us. That's why they are sitting there. That is a different idea. Brahmaji is that personality to whom Krishna directly instructs Vedas. Right? He is coming directly from Krishna. So he is a great personality. Shivji, for that matter, is the first class Vaishnava. He is the greatest Vaishnava. Right? We must not belittle devatas. I have seen it many times. People, when they are newly getting, in touch with the philosophy and they come across all these things, they disrespect devatas. We should never do that, because they have a surrendered life unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are very great. That's why they are sitting there. We are very insignificant. you know they are very insignificant. We should understand that. But at the same time, we should make this distinction between who are those people who are going to the devatas for fulfilling their own personal karma desires. So that's how we learn. You see, there are different personalities who have done same kind of tapasya. For example, there was Hiranyakashipu, who stood on one leg for thousands of years to attain a worldly, uh, you know what do you say, Yeah, attain a worldly goal. From whom? From Brahmaji. He could have asked for pure devotional service. He chose to not to do that. But in any case, so what did he ask from Brahmaji? That I want to become immortal. Brahmaji told that I can't give you that. So at that point, he was making calculation. Very intelligent guy. What happened? Satyam vidatam nijavritya bhashyatam vyaptim cha bhuteshu akhileshu chatmana adarshanan atyadbhuta rupamudvahan stambhe sabhayam namrgam namanusham. You know, one fine day, when he offended his son Prahlad, to make the words of Prahlad Maharaj and Brahmaji true, the Supreme Lord came from the pillar to the sabha. Stambhe sabhayam na mrigam na manusham. He didn't look like a mriga, an animal, neither like a manusha, a human being. And what did he do? Ripped apart. You know. तव कर कमलवरे कृष्णा नखमल्भुत शृङ्गम् तव कर कमलवरे कृष्णा नखमल्भुत शृङ्गम् दलित हिरण्यकशिपूतनुभृङ्गम् दलित हिरण्यकशिपूतनुभृङ्गम् केशवाधृत नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे केशवाधृत नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे केशवाधृत नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे. So this is actually Jayadev Goswami's Dashavatara Stuti. So from that, he is describing how Keshava, the Supreme Lord, he took form of what? Narahari Rupa. Of a Nara, half human, and Hari, half lion. Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hari. And what did he do? Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubhringam. So he just took his nails and ripped apart uh, Hiranyakashipu's chest. It was first intestine surgery, heart surgery, all those things happened at that point. But the idea is that he wanted to do what? He wanted to lord over the material nature. But could he? And for that, what did he do? He had different varieties of desires, and for that desire, he surrendered his life unto Anya Devata, the Brahmaji. Same goes for Shivji and Ravana, you can see. But you see, all these personalities, they are so surrendered unto the Supreme Lord. They won't come in the way of Supreme Lord when the Supreme Lord decides to kill their devotees. That is their level of surrender. They don't have ego. You can see that these Puranas and these Vedas, they are the pramana. That Krishna is the supreme Lord, and everyone else, the devatas, they are supremely worshipping these this aspect of the supreme Lord, the supreme personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. So Krishna says here, kamaistaistair hridajnana prapadyante anya devataha tam niyamam asthaya. How do they worship? How do they surrender their life? By tam corresponding according to the Vedic rules and regulation. Niyamam asthaya. Niyamam means what? Niyamam means regulations. Niyamam means rules and regulations. So in yoga also there is yam, then niyama. Similarly, there are different niyama they follow. Asthaya, following different niyamam. What they do? They surrender their life to Anya Devata. And according to what they come to different, like for example, there are different devatas. People worship different kinds of devatas. Like for example, somebody might be worshipping Indra, somebody might be worshipping Shivji, somebody might be worshipping Brahmaji, or somebody might be worshipping Shakti, Durga Devi, somebody might be worshipping Kali Devi. So there are different kinds of demigods. How do they choose the demigods? How do they go to devatas? प्रकृत्या नियताः स्वया. Swaya means अपना खुद का. Swaya, by their own what? Prakritya, nature. So according to their own nature, you know controlled by their own nature, they follow different rules and regulations of the scriptures for surrendering unto Anya Devata, different demigods. And why do they do that? Kama istaitir hridajnana. Because their jnana, their intellect, is being stolen by kama, desires. That's why they do it. You see, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. You see, the word prakritya is very significant here. See, it has a very, it is very deep. You just don't get attracted to someone, even that might be a devata for that matter. I say he, it doesn't happen that way. It is because of your own constitutional nature you do that. That is the reason why there are different kinds of Puranas. Some people don't understand this. Some people think that there are apparent contradiction between the Vedic literatures. No, it is not like that. Like we have heard people saying this, that you refer from Srimad Bhagavatam, right? I refer from Shiva Purana. As per Shiva Purana, Lord Shivji is the supreme. How can you say this? There are Shivji story, like just there are Krishna stories or Vishnu stories in Vishnu Purana. Similarly, there are Shivji story in Shiva Purana. So if I follow Shiva Purana, Shivji is the supreme. That is why every devata is one and the same. Like that people say. To that argument, this point is there. Prakritya niyatasvaya. So according to the nature of different living entities, actually Srila Vyasadev has created different Puranas also. There are Puranas which are for whose targeted audience are only for people who are in tamoguna, for people who are in the mode of ignorance, who are intoxicated, who are taking intoxicants and eating meat, and they have no regulated lifestyle. For such people there are some Puranas. Why? Because by following the rules and regulations which are prescribed in the Puranas and having some astha, for some belief towards that particular devata, that devata will help them and they will gradually be uplifted to the mode of passion, rajoguna. Then there are some Puranas which are meant for people who are in rajoguna. By reading those Puranas, these are processes that doesn't happen in one lifetime itself. It is very rare that in one lifetime. It takes several different kinds of lifetimes to come to this platform. But nevertheless, so once they have been promoted to rajoguna, now because their primeval guna that is prevailing inside them is rajoguna, and their nature is such, their character and all those things, personality is actually molded in such a way, so they get attracted to the devatas and the scriptures which are meant for those people who are in the mode of passion. For what? So that they will be gradually uplifted towards the mode of goodness. And there are Puranas which are in the mode of goodness. And after that, when you even transcend or you come in Shuddha, Sattva Guna, that is when you can really understand the glories of the Supreme Personality of God. So that's why if we see the 18 Puranas, that there are many Puranas from which the 18 are considered to be the greatest, which are all written by Srila Vyasadeva. From that, 6 Puranas are for people who are in Tamoguna, 6 is for people who are in Rajoguna, and 6 for people who are in Sattva. So, and according to the gunas in which that person is, the style of the scripture also changes. Like for example, if you take scriptures which are in the mode of goodness, uh, in those scriptures we can easily identify that the question that is being asked is like majority all these Puranas are in the form of questioning and answering. It's like samvad. So the question is, which is asked to the great personality, is that what is the supreme duty of life? Who is the supreme personality of Godhead? Tell me about him. How can I reach him? Like this, in the good mode of goodness. But when it comes to Tamoguna, we see that the question is also very specific. They say that this particular Devata is the supreme personality of Godhead. So tell me about him. This Devata is supreme. So tell me about him. Like that. So the questioning is also different. So we can understand that it's a very deep subject matter. But what I am trying to say is that according to different prakritya, according to different nature that people have acquired, that is how they are being attracted to the devatas also. So being attracted to a devata and becoming religious is also not something that is going to take you out of the clutches of material nature. Why? Because why you are doing it? You are not doing it because you are understanding that I am supreme spirit. You're doing it because you have some kind of desire to enjoy in this material world. You know, enjoying this material world doesn't necessarily mean that being wealthy and staying in earth. It can be going to moon and drinking somarasa. That can be one of the desire. It can be, you know, going to the upper planetary systems and enjoying life with apsaras and gandharvas singing for you and all those things. It can be like that. So, because of all these desires, people worship whom? People worship devatas. Why? Because their jnana is being stolen away by their own desires. And according to their own nature, they follow certain rules and regulations which are mentioned in the scriptures. That is the idea. Hare Krishna. Yes. यो यो यां तनुं भक्तः श्रद्धयार्चितुमिच्छति तस्य तस्याचलां श्रद्धां ताम एव vidadhamyaham. You see, now Krishna is saying that now why do they have faith in Anya Devata? Why do they get that faith? Where do they get that faith from? That is Krishna speaking here. You see, yo yo yam tanum bhaktah shraddhaya architum ichhati. So somebody who has ichhati, somebody who is desirous of what? Architum, Shraddhaya Architum. So Shraddhaya plus Architum is Shraddhaya Architum. So to have shraddha, to with faithfully do archana, do puja, to worship. Whom? Tanum. Tanum means it is actually referring to, in the last verse we saw that Anya Devata, what was there? Here Tanum means that the particular Devata that personality is attracted to. So yo yo yam yam Tanum Bhaktah. So whoever, yaha yo yo, yam yam means whichever. Yo yo yam yam Tanum Bhaktah, whichever demigod he is a devotee of, you know. Shraddhaya architum ichhati. So he has ichha, or he has a desire to do archana, to worship that demigod with faith. Tasya achalam shraddham. So to that personality who wants to become a bhakta and who has that ichha of do shraddhaya architum. So that personality shraddham, achalam shraddham means firm. Achala, chala matlab jo chanchal hai, udhar udhar bhagta rehta hai. Achala means something which is very firm, firmly situated. Shraddha means faith. Tam eva vidadhami aham. I am the person who gives them that faith. Because Krishna is residing within the heart of everyone as Paramatma. So, as Paramatma, when he's sitting and when he sees that some personality, he has a ichha, a desire to serve a particular kind of devata to fulfill his desires or whatever. So, at that point, Krishna only from within gives him faith to, uh, you know, worship that demigod. You see, I am in everyone's heart as a super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. So at this point, somebody might have a doubt that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Surrendering unto Krishna can take you out of the clutches of Maya, and you can go back to Godhead and everything. Then why is Krishna supplying faith when somebody is inclined towards some other demigod? Why is Krishna doing it? This is because Krishna cares about your independence. You see, Krishna is not, when it comes to devotion, Krishna doesn't want to control and make you like a puppet, right? Like we have this tendency that if we love someone, if we are attached to someone in this world, we have this tendency that they should act according to my will only, by hook or crook. Right? Krishna is not like that. Krishna is very kind, Karuna Sindhu. So Krishna is giving you supreme independence. So that is why he is not thinking that somewhere or the other I will grab him towards me, I will not allow him to worship any other demigod. No, Krishna will only supply the faith. You wish to do this, na Baba, I love you, you take this. Like that Krishna does. So it is to make sure that the jiva is independent. That is why Krishna is doing it. So Prabhupada mentioned this in the purport. So you see, even if somebody is worshipping a particular kind of devata, then also you see he is not independent. Krishna is only the person who is actually helping him to worship. Now see, Krishna will go one step further now. Sataya shraddhaya yuktas tasyardhanamihate labhate cha tatah kaman mayaiva vihitan hitan. You see, sataya shraddhaya yuktas. So he who is what? Who is with shraddhaya yuktas, who is engaged in devotion to that particular demigod with shraddha, with devotion and with with faith and inspiration. Somebody who is engaged. Thus, tasya aradhanamihate. For what? Tasya, of that devata, aradhanamiyate, doing worship. You know, labhate cha tatah kaman. Labhate, he gets what? Tatah kaman. With what desire he was, aspiring to do worship of the demigod. For some, desire he was doing that, right? So he will get that desire fulfilled. But from where? Maya eva vihitan hitan. From me alone. Maya eva, Krishna says. Maya eva. मैं ही वो व्यक्ति हूँ जो उसका डिजायर, उसका काम को पूरा करता है। ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई व्यक्ति है, कोई देवता का पूजा करता है और कृष्णा के इच्छा के बिना उसको सब कुछ मिल जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं होता। वो सैंक्शन भी कृष्णा खुद ही करते हैं। यू सी, सतया श्रद्धया युक्त तस्य आराधनमीहते लभते च ततः कामान मया एव विहितान हितान। I alone give him, that result. It is not that. See, that is why I told you that all the devatas, they are also under the control of the Supreme Lord Himself. They cannot just sanction anything and everything on their own. Yeah, there are some capacities that the Supreme Lord has allowed them. But at the same time, it is by the supreme will and the sanction of the Supreme Lord that everything happens. So better to surrender unto the Supreme Lord Himself directly. That is what the idea is. Because at the end of the day, you will get mukti also. You won't get entangled. The problem with this is you will get the desires fulfilled, and because of those desires getting fulfilled, you get entangled again and again and again and again in this material world. But when somebody has even sakama ichha, somebody has a desire to, go to Krishna, when he goes to Krishna, his desires get fulfilled, and along with that his, the sinful desires that is coming inside him because of all these impurities, that is also taken away. And because that is taken away, he goes back home, back to godhead also. He just doesn't get entangled in this world. Gradually he becomes purified and he goes back. But with the problem with devata worship is that your desires get fulfilled, but you get entangled also here only. We'll see that in the next shloka. What is the destination of people who are engaged? You see, endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. You see, by me alone. This is a verdict of Bhagavad Gita. You can see, right? The Bhagavad Gita is clearly establishing the fact that who is the Supreme Lord, what is your relationship with the Supreme Lord, what is karma, what is jnana, and what is time, kala, all these things, everything is in detail which is described in the Bhagavad Gita. अंतवत्तु फलं तेषां तद्भा तद्भवति अल्पमेधसां देवान् देवयजो यान्ति मद्भक्ता यान्ति मामपि. Now in this verse, two things Krishna says. One thing, what is the destination of the jivas, right? Who worship the devatas. Second thing is, what is the destination of the devotees who worship Krishna. These two things. And there is one more thing. Krishna addresses to the kama also, to the desire also, because of which you went to a particular devata. Right? We went to the particular devata because of some desire which we had to fulfill. He speaks about that desire also. He told that the desire will be fulfilled, no doubt. And that is sanctioned by Krishna himself, no doubt. But even though the desire is fulfilled, what is the nature of such a, phala, such a result, such a fruit of that desire that you will get, that Krishna is speaking here. Antavattu palam tesham. Antavat. Antavat means something which has a end, which has an end, which has anta. Anta matlab khatam hona, end. So antavat. Tu phalam tesham. Tu means but. So, but the phala, the the result, the fruit of that desire which will be fulfilled of yours, it is what antavat. It is perishable. It will be finished one day. It is not forever. That is what the idea is. It is not eternal. It is not forever. It will be finished. Sooner or later, it is going to be finished. See, antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedhasam. Tad bhavati, that becomes alpamedhasam, of those of small intelligence. Alpamedhasam means alpa. Medhasam means intellect, and alpa means thoda sa. Alpa. So alpamedhasam is means people who are less intelligent, who are not very intelligent. Those people worship devatas because they want to fulfill their desires. And what kind of desires do they have? Those desires which will be fulfilled, no doubt, but they are antavat, which is perishable. It is not forever. So the idea from beginning itself, we can see this theme that Krishna doesn't approve something which is very temporary. If you want something which is very temporary and you think that you will enjoy it, Krishna doesn't sanction that idea as very intelligent one. Krishna says that if you want something, you go for eternal benefit. Now, Baba, you go for something which is going to stay forever. Antavattu phalam tesham. This phala that you are getting by worshipping the devatas, you will get the phala, no doubt, but it is perishable. It is going to end. Like, for example, Hiranyakashipu, again, what did he want? He wanted to become immortal. He asked for six, seven items of things. He said that not in the day, not in the night, not inside house, not outside house, you know, not above, not below, and not by any animal, not by any human being, not by any weapons, not by bare hand, you know, not in 12 months. You know, all these things he thought that he is never going to end, but what happened to that phala? It ended, right? Antavattu phalam tesham. It is going to end somehow or other. Are we, do you think that you and me have the capability of doing tapasya like Hiranyakashipu for any devata? So forget about the phala that we want, that Hiranyakashipu got. We are not going to get. So such a phala that Hiranyakashipu got, which made him almost immortal and so powerful, it also ended. Antavattu phalam tesham, right? It will end somehow or other. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasam. So the person who is actually aspiring for such desires, and for that, if they are going to devatas to get their desires done very fast, like considering them to be order suppliers of them, if somebody is going, who he is, what in the opinion of Krishna, he is alpamedasa. He is a man of small intelligence. He is a man of less intelligence. He is not very buddhiman, right? That is what Krishna is saying. Devan deva yajo yanti. So Devan, Deva Yajo means somebody who worships Devata, demigod. Deva Yajo Yanti. He goes to the Devata. Mad Bhakta Yanti Mamapi. And somebody who is my devotee, who is my Bhakta, he comes to me. If Krishna was of, if Krishna was of the same status as all the Devatas out there, why would he make a distinction here? Why would Krishna says that those who are worshipping devatas, they go to that respective deva, and those who worship me, they come to me, which means that there is a clear distinction, right? And the second thing that we must understand is that Krishna is very clear when he is speaking about Goloka Vrindavan in Bhagavad Gita. He is saying that there is a place, there is a destination for all those people who are my devotees. You see, he takes us with them. It is a planet of Krishna, Goloka Vrindavan. See, even in the 15th chapter, we will see Krishna again says that, Yad gatva nanivartante tad dhamam paramam mama. Like that, he says, once you go there, you never come back to this material world of suffering. You see that. So, the people who are, worshipping the demigods, they go to the demigods. Now, the devatas, the demigods, are also jivas, but they are very powerful, and because of their tapas and previous karmas, they have acquired so much punya that they can become devatas, and they are handling many big government posts in this managing of this universe. They are sitting on those posts, so they have certain powers, right? So when we worship, say for example, if somebody is worshipping Indra, he will go to Indra, right? Somebody who wants to become Indra, there are vidhis in Vedas. If you want to become Indra, what you have to do. If you want to become some of Varuna, you have to do what, like that. So somebody who is actually what do you say, who is a devotee of a devata, he goes to devata. And somebody who is a devotee of Krishna, he goes to Krishna. But what happens to that person who is going to some devata? He goes for certain time, है ना, अंतवत्तु फलम तेषाम. If you want to go to a devata, and for going to a devata, you worship the devata, and because of that, you are definitely going to get the result of going to devata. But that result is also going to end someday. Antavattu phalam tesham. It is going to end. It is not forever. You will fall down again, right? Only thing that is eternal, which is going to stay with you forever, is something that Krishna gives you. Take Sudama Brahman. He had nothing. He got wealth, and he was never impoverished again. You take Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj got a planet, Dhruva Loka of his own, where he got all the wealth and everything. And it was never taken back by Krishna. It is never taken back by anything. So that's why we say that when Krishna wants to give, there is nobody who can stop you from getting mercy of Krishna. And it is not something which will end, you know. And when Krishna wants to take away things from you, Krishna wants to somehow or other really teach you good lesson by giving some special mercy to you. Who can stop him? Swarat is he is supremely independent. Janmadhyasya yathonvayaditarataschaर्थेष्वभिज्ञ Swarat. So he is Swarat. He is supremely independent. He can do whatever he wants to do, right? So we see that Krishna doesn't really approve the idea of going to devatas. He says that even if you go to devatas, I am only the person who is actually giving you what do you say, the shraddha from within as Paramatma. Even if you want have some desires and you go to a devata, I am only the person who is sanctioning and giving you, take Baba. Okay. But still you are not very intelligent. That's what Krishna is saying here. You are alpamedasa. People who are running behind desires of this world and getting entangled in this world, they are what? They're alpamedasa. They're going to demigods for different kind of this thing. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. You should make sure that you read all these purports. Very beautiful. Okay. So till 23rd verse, Krishna was actually speaking about Anya Devata worship. We saw that. Now, from 24 onwards, Krishna is going to speak on impersonalism. People say, na, भगवान तो अरूप है, निरूप है, क्या पता क्या क्या बोलते हैं लोग. कोई रूप नहीं है, तू ही निरंकार, etc. etc. People say that निराकार है. So they don't have, he doesn't have any form. See, even if scripture says that Krishna is Nirakar, it means that he doesn't have a material akar. He doesn't have a material form like us. His body is not made of, this dead matter like ours, of Panchamahabhut. What is Krishna made of? Krishna is Satchit Ananda Vigraha. That is what. So when the scriptures say that, you must keep all these things in base and then you must understand. But people just blindly following things. They don't read anything. They will read from they will listen from somebody speaking on something and they will start believing and propagating. So Krishna is going to break that myth now. You see, अव्यक्तं व्यक्तिमापन्नं मन्यते माम बुद्धयः परं भावम् अजानन्तो माम ममाव्ययम् अनुत्तमम्. See, Krishna says, Avyaktam Vyaktimapannam Manyante Mam Abuddhayah. Avyaktam. Avyaktam means what? Avyaktam means non-manifested. Avyaktam means somebody who is not seen. Okay. Avyaktam Vyaktimapannam. मतलब जो नहीं दिखता है, जिसका कोई आकार नहीं है, जो मैनिफेस्ट नहीं है, वो एक व्यक्ति का रूप धारण कर लिया. Apannam. You see, that is what it means. So a person who is not manifested. One second, huh? 1 second, please. Hare Krishna. Yeah, sorry, I got a call. It was very important. Yeah, avyaktam vyaktim apannam. So Krishna is saying that some people they think that I am non-manifested. There is no manifestation of Krishna. He has no form or anything, but he has become vyakti. He has attained personality. So something which has no personality, he acquired a personality and came. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam. Achieved. Apannam means to achieve. So he achieved a personality. Manyate mam abuddhayah. See? So say there are people, manyante, they think like that. Me, mam means me. So avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam. So some people think that I have no form, but I have, I am non manifested, but I am I have achieved this personality, or I have made this personality, or I have got this personality to come here. And such person is what Krishna says, abuddhayah. You see, abuddhayah, less intelligent person, unintelligent to be precise. He is abuddhayah, he has no buddhi. That's why he is thinking like that. See, Krishna is saying, it is very clear, proper Sanskrit. You can just understand by saying this. Avyaktam vyaktim apannam manyante mam. Some people think that I was not manifested, but I have taken this form. Actually, I have no form or personality, but I have taken this form. Like that, some people think. And what are those people? They are abuddhayah. वो लोग में बुद्धि नहीं है. They are people who are less intelligent or no intelligence they have. Param bhavam ajananto. They don't know param bhavam. What is my supreme form, supreme existence? They don't know. Ajananto. वो लोग जानते नहीं है वो. Ajananto. Jananto means to know. Ajananto means they don't know. Okay. Without knowing that, mamavyayam anuttamam, that I am mama, my form is what? Avyayam, is imperishable. It doesn't end, it is forever. Sat. And anuttamam, it is the finest. Krishna is saying. So Krishna is saying two things here. First thing, he is saying that some people are there who think that I don't have a form and I acquire some kind of form and descend to this earth. Those people are first of all less intelligent. They have no intelligence. Okay. Second thing, I have a form which is what? Which is my param bhavam, which is my supreme existence. That is the param bhavam. I have a form, and that these people don't know. And that bhavam is how, like what kind of a bhavam it is. It is not like people of this world. It is avyayam, it is imperishable, and anuttamam, it is finest, like the Krishna is saying. Because in this world we have this concept. See, why people are very much attracted towards impersonalism and all these things, because they're fed up with the forms of this world. They think that somehow or other every form is like same only, so if there is a form it is going to end someday. No, it doesn't happen that way. Krishna is saying here, param bhavam ajananto. What is the param bhavam? That I have a form, and what kind of a form it is? It is avyayam, it is imperishable. It is not like that seen in this world. In this world we can see that people have a form which perishes, which dies off after a point of time. But Krishna's form is not like that. Krishna's form is avyayam, it is forever. Sat, it's eternal. And anuttama, it is finest. So Krishna is saying here that people who think that I am impersonal, those people are actually parambhavam ajananto. They don't know the supreme bhava, the supreme existence. They are not aware of the supreme existence. That was Krishna saying. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. In this, the purport to this verse, Prabhupada has quoted profusely from different places. You must definitely read it. It is very beautiful, actually. You know, different Upanishads and from everywhere he has quoted. And he has done Mayavad Khandan only in that. Yes. नाहं प्रकाशः सर्वस्य योगमाया समावृतः मूढोऽयं नाभिजानाति loko mam ajam avyayam. See, so we will feel that okay, my lord, but why is it so? You are saying that you are the supreme lord. You are saying that from me only everything is coming. That I am imperishable. I have a very beautiful form, which is very fine. You are saying all these things, that I am just not impersonal. I am different from the devatas, and all these things you are only speaking. But then why don't people know you? Then why can't people understand you? It's so simple, right? You told this, which means it is simple. So if it is such simple, why are there complications in this world? Why can't people just understand you? So Krishna is now telling this also. Why won't people understand me? That is also Krishna saying. Naham prakashah sarvasya yoga maya samavritah na aham. Na plus aham. Aham means I in Sanskrit. Na aham means, no one and me, like that. It's a negation. Na aham prakasha sarvasya. Sarvasya means to everyone. Prakasha means to be visible, to be manifest. Okay. Naham prakasha sarvasya means I am not visible or manifest to everyone. Naham prakasha sarvasya. So it is not very easy, Arjun. You are seeing me, it is all right. But Naham prakasha sarvasya. Everyone cannot see me. Why? Yogamaya samavritah. Because I am covered by Yogamaya. Just like if there is sun, and when this sun is covered by, clouds, you cannot see the sun, right? So similarly, the Yogamaya is like a veil. It's a superior form of Krishna's energy, like we have discussed before, that there is some antaranga shakti and there is bahiranga shakti. Bahiranga shakti is Mahamaya, which is actually deluding us, and there is an antaranga shakti which is Yogamaya, which is actually covering Krishna, because of which he is not manifest to each and everyone. This is the reason why, you see, in when 5000 years ago, when Krishna appeared and he was on this planet, at that point too, many personalities couldn't understand that he is the Supreme Lord. Like, for example, Shishupal started to, defame and blaspheme the Supreme Lord in the assembly of, Yudhishthir Maharaj Rajasuya Yagya. Why so? He was a supreme personality of Godhead. He is visible. He is sitting before you. Why can't you understand? Because he is Yogamaya Samavrita. He is not available for everyone. He is not manifest before the fools. That is why. Kamsa couldn't recognize. You see? The Supreme Lord. Duryodhana couldn't recognize. In fact, Duryodhana, when Krishna went as a peace messenger, he wanted to bind him and, put him in jail. Is that possible? No. So even after, you see, the heights of ignorance is even after Krishna's showing, his supreme form and his opulence in that sabha. After that also, Duryodhana never believed that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He thought that he is some kind of Mayavi. I can also do those tricks. I also know magic, like that Duryodhana thought. Even Shakuni, for that matter, they all never knew that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. On the other hand, Bhishma Dev could easily identify. The Pandavas could easily identify. Kunti Maharani could easily identify. The residents of Mathura and Dwaraka knew that Krishna is the supreme personality of God. So even after Krishna being present before your material eyes, it is not necessary that you will ever understand Krishna. Why? Because he is always covered by his Yogamaya veil. That is what it is. So Krishna says that Naham Prakashah Sarvasya. I am not visible. I am not manifest before each and everyone. Sarvasya. Yogamaya Samavritah. I am actually covered by the veil of Yogamaya. Just like, in the Ramayana, when Sita Devi was abducted by Ravana, it is very important to understand that it is not actual Sita Devi who was abducted by Ravana. Many people don't know this, because you have to reconcile with other Puranas also. There are some other Puranas also where the references come of Ramayana. So we see that it is actually, the consort of the Supreme Lord is actually his own internal potency. Like Vishnu, Narayana and Lakshmi Devi is the internal potency of Narayana. Srimati Radharani and Krishna, Srimati Radharani is the internal Hladini Shakti, potency of Sri Krishna. So similarly, Sita Devi is the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. How can somebody take away the internal potency of the Supreme Lord? It is not possible. So what happened is that when actually Ravana came, in Tattva this happened, that when Ravana came and abducted Sita, it is actually the original Yogamaya Sita went behind the veil of Yogamaya, and Mahamaya Sita, that is actually the Chaya Sita, is the one whom he abducted. You see, that is why we say that Srimati Lakshmi Devi, she is Chanchala. She doesn't stay at one place. But for that place where, Narayan is pleased, at that point Lakshmi never leaves that place. If you have any doubt, you take Srila Prabhupada's life and you can see. Prabhupada went with 40 rupees to the Western world. Right? He had nothing. He had nobody, no manpower. He knew no one in America. He went there, and in a matter of some years, he had 108 temples around the world. How could this happen? Where were the funds coming from? There was, at one instance, somebody asked, Srila Prabhupada, that, there was some reporter. She was asking Prabhupada that, okay, Swami, You came here without money, you have a lot of money now. From where are the money coming from? Prabhupada said Krishna gave. Simple answer. So she was asking that, no, no, not like that. Means you have money, right? With which you are building the temple and all these things. From where are you getting the money? Said Krishna gave me. Like that. So that is the idea. The pure devotee is always convinced that Krishna is giving me, and he can see with his own eyes. So the idea is that, so Prabhupada had grip of Krishna on him. So Krishna is whom? Chintamani prakara satmasu kalpavriksha lakshavriteshu surabhirabi palayantam Lakshmi sahasrashata sambrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami. He is always eagerly, eagerly lakhs and crores of Lakshmis are actually very restless to serve him in Golok Vrindavan. The gopis, they are none other than Lakshmis. They are Lakshmi Tattvas. You see, that is Krishna. And Prabhupada is a disciple of Krishna. How come he won't get Lakshmi? And she is not Chanchala for Prabhupada. Why? Because he is using, that same Lakshmi Devi for the service of Narayana, for the service of Krishna. That is why she won't leave. But for those people who just want Lakshmi for their sense gratification, they are having Ravana mentality because they want to take away Lakshmi from Narayana and enjoy. And Lakshmi Devi is never going to stay there. And in fact, that same Lakshmi Devi is going to become the cause of their destruction. Why? Because that is not actual Lakshmi Devi, but it is actually Chaya Lakshmi. Just like Ravana took away and he invited his death. Similarly, they will also invite misfortune someday. If you just want to enjoy this material world by hook or crook means, is what it is, the philosophy. You see, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavritah. So just like the original Sita Devi slipped behind the veil of Yogamaya and Chaya Lakshmi Devi, Chaya Sita Devi appeared, who was Mahamaya. Similarly, Krishna is always covered by the veil of Yogamaya. It doesn't mean that Krishna is not there. Krishna is there, but we don't have the qualification to see Krishna. Just like when the sun is covered by clouds, it is not that the sun is disappearing. The sun is there only, but it is covered by the clouds. The clouds is coming between your eyes and the sun. Your eyes doesn't have the capability to penetrate along the clouds and see the sun. When the clouds go away, you see. So when the clouds of your ignorance go away, that is when the sun of Krishna can be seen with pure devotion in your heart. Krishna is visible to those devotees. There are devotees in Vrindavan till date who can see Krishna face to face, who can hear to Krishna's flute sound. There are devotees. Why? Because for them, Krishna is always available. He is always there, dancing at their footsteps. You see? Moodhoyam na abhijanati. And who is the person who doesn't know me? Na abhijanati. Doesn't know me. Who? Who is that person who doesn't know you? Moodha. Moodhoyam na abhijanati. So person who is a moodha, who is a fool number one, he doesn't know me. Loko mam ajam avyayam. You know? So there are people who make comments on Krishna. They have no idea about who Krishna is. Krishna is only speaking here that Moodhoyam na abhijanati. You are a Moodha, you doesn't know me. If you don't know me, don't better don't speak na about Krishna. There are many people who just, people would sometimes get a crowd to speak. They would get a crowd, nice chair to sit and a mic to sit and speak. So they will start speaking any nonsense and rubbish that come to their dirty mind, right? So they will speak nonsense about Krishna and all, but they don't know Krishna in tattva. Who is saying? Krishna only saying Moodhoyam na abhijanati. They don't know me. Loko mam ajam avyayam. What do they don't know? Why are they moodas? Because they don't know that I'm ajam. Ajam means I don't have a birth. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Govinda. So Anadir means I don't have a beginning. But Krishna doesn't have a beginning, like the Brahma is saying. So similarly, here also Krishna says that I am Ajam. I don't have a Ajanma. I am not born. And Avyayam. And I don't have an ending. I don't perish like any other living being. So he is certainly making a distinction here that Krishna is certainly very different from us. Is what he is totally opposite of us. That we have to understand. Then only we can really understand Krishna. You see, I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. Hare Krishna. I think so that we will have to take the session to tomorrow only to complete this chapter, the next 5 verses. If any one of you have any doubt, you may uh, you know unmute yourself and ask. Hare Krishna. We will complete the chapter tomorrow. The five.
Prabhuji, I have a doubt.
Yes, yes, Mataji, please ask.
Is it necessary कि if you are worshipping demigods, so your goal is some sense gratification? Like,
No, Mataji, it is not
if
necessary. Yeah. Yes, yes. Please ask. Continue. Sorry.
yeah, I was asking कि, like people who are inclined towards some demigods, but their goal is liberation only, and
Hmm.
if they are worshipping them, so is it okay according to what we have
Mataji,
studied
they
previously?
are searching for the right thing at a wrong place, I would say. Because
Okay.
who is the person who can give you liberation? It is only the person who is out of the clutches of Maya who can give you liberation, right? Not somebody who is performing under the spell of Maya. They cannot give you liberation. Like that is why Krishna is
Yeah.
called Mukunda, right? Krishna is called Mukunda. Why? Because he is Mukti Dayaka, Mukunda. There is no other devata who can give you liberation. It is only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, you can get liberation. At least you must be aspiring from Brahma Jyoti. Then only you get liberated. It is not that by any devata worship you cannot get liberation. You can just think that you will get liberation and all those things. You can gradually uplift yourself to that platform. See, when you worship a devata, you don't really get liberation. You go to them, you associate with them, you come back, but in the process you actually develop the gunas and character of coming into sattva guna gradually. If you are a person who is in tamoguna, you come to rajoguna, then rajoguna to sattva guna. After coming to sattva guna, you come to sattvic literatures and sattvic Puranas and all these things. Then you attain liberation after a point of time, but it is a very long route to take. If you think that if somebody is thinking for that matter that I will worship a devata and I will ask for liberation, he is not going to get liberation because they themselves are not liberated. That is the idea. They are only not liberated, no. They are also bound by their karmas. Not really we can say that karma, but they are actually bound by their position. Like there is a story of Krishna sitting in Dwaraka with Rukmini Devi one day, and he was laughing at a small ant. And Rukmini Devi asked him that, Why are you laughing, my lord?" So he was telling that, "You see, this ant is running behind sweets, right?" So Rukmini Devi said, "That is the nature of an ant. It runs behind sweet." So Krishna said that, "No, you know what? This ant was Indra three times before. So Indra is the chief among demigods. He is the chief among the devatas. He is the king of the devatas. If he can give liberation, then he should be liberated himself. No, it doesn't happen that they are not muktidayak. So it's Vishnu, it's Krishna only who is muktidayak, like that.
And does the demigods, like if they are worshipping them, so does they help to reach Krishna?
Actually, it is a very uh, see, if somebody is worshipping some devata for the sake of getting Krishna, it is a great thing. It is a very great thing. They definitely help. Like for example, I personally know some devotees who are great ardent worshippers of Shivji, and they ultimately became devotees of Krishna. You know, it happens that way because Shivji is a great Vaishnava. When you sit with him, you associate with him, you get those things. And even for that matter, the Brajvasis, they would worship Kartyayani Devi in the month of Kartik. The gopis, the young gopis of Braj, this comes in Bhagavatam. They worship Katyayani Devi so that they get Krishna as their husbands, like that. So for the matter of getting Krishna, if you are going to some devata, it is fine, it is okay. And at the same time, we should not think that we must not bow down to any devata only because we have become devotees of Krishna. No, it is not like that. You have to bow down before them and give them respect because they are also Vaishnavas. They love that. If you chant the names of Hari in front of them, if you ask them that I want bhakti, or please help me in this devotional service, It is very nice. It is not a bad thing. It is a nice thing to ask. It shows your sincerity that you want Krishna. So you are going for any route for getting Krishna. It is what it is. It's okay.
Okay, and one last question. What are the six Puranas that is in Sattvic nature?
I will share that in the group maybe. In Satvik,
Okay.
there is you can say definitely Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishnu Purana is there,
Mhm.
Skanda Purana is there, and you know there is Matsya Purana. Uh, then you have Padma Purana, five, and there is one more. I don't remember the sixth one. There are six Puranas which are in Satvik. I have to refer again. I had read it some long time back, so I don't remember actually. But I'll share. Definitely, I'll share in the group.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for listening. Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other doubts?
Hare Krishna. No question, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, no doubt. Thank
Hare
you.